past 36 hours, the I Love You virus has been creating havoc around the world, certainly here in North America.
The bug virus has
Sources on the loose.
The Cupid who cooked it up and committed the crime is a hacker in the Philippines.
The history of I Love You virus. On May 4, 2000, the I Love You virus, also known as the lab bug, originated in the Philippines and wormed its way into government and business email system around the globe from Australia and Hong Kong, westward through Asia, Europe, and the US, including throughout HQ Forcecom and its subordinate commands. The I Love You virus spread about 15 times faster than last year's Melissa computer virus. The program's rapid proliferation brought email systems worldwide to a grinding halt, forcing technicians to take hundreds of systems offline.
Who created the I Love You virus? I Love You virus creator is Genel who was a 24-year-old college student in Manila and struggling to pay for internet access. He created the worm to steal other users' passwords so that he could log in to their internet accounts without paying. Genel created the I Love You virus, na noon ay isang mahirap sa edad na 24 years old na nag-aaral ng kolehiyo sa Maynila. At dahil nga sa hirap ng buhay, nahihirapan din siyang magbayad para sa internet access. Ginawa niya ang I Love You virus na ito para magnakaw ng ibang passwords upang makapag-login sa kanyang internet accounts nang hindi nagbabayad. I Love You virus adopted the same principles that de Guzman and written in his undergraduate thesis at AMA Computer College. Genel said that I Love You virus was very easy to create thanks to a bug in Windows 95 that would run code in email attachments when the user clicked on them. Originally, the I Love You virus was only designed to work in Manila. Later, Genel de Guzman removed the geographic restriction out of curiosity, which enabled the malware to spread worldwide. However, de Guzman didn't mean that. Genel de Guzman justified his behavior on his belief that internet access is a human right and he wasn't actually stealing. Katagalan, inalis ni Genel de Guzman ang geographic restrictions out of curiosity na nagbigay daan sa malware na kumalat sa buong mundo. Gayunpaman, hindi iyon sinadya ni de Guzman. Nabigyang katwiran ni Genel de Guzman ang kanyang pag-uugali sa kanyang paniniwala na ang pag-access sa internet ay isang karapatang pantao at hindi talaga siya pagnanakaw. Since there were no laws in the Philippines against creating malware, then the Philippine Congress enacted Republic Act No. 8792, also known as the E-Commerce Law, to discourage future malware events in July 2000. Dahil nga walang mga batas sa Pilipinas laban sa paglikha ng malware noon, ang Philippine Congress ay nagpatupad ng Republic Act No. 8792 na kinilala bilang E-Commerce Law upang pigilan ang hinaharap mga kaganapan sa malware noong buwan ng Hulyo taong 2000.
What did the I Love You virus do? On the machine system level, I Love You EXE relied on the enabled scripting engine system setting and took advantage of a feature in Windows that hides file extension by default, which malware authors would use as a flaw. Kalimitan sa mga file na infected na ng virus na ito ay mayroon pa ring original name or yung original file names na ating ginamit. Ang kaibahan lang, nagkakaroon ito ng fake text file extension. I Love You virus made us on social engineering to entice or to attract people to open the attachment file to ensure continued propagation. Malamang sa malamang, hindi ito madaling mapansin, lalo pat ang kanyang text file extension lang ang magiging palatandaan natin. bago natin malalaman na ang isang file ay infected na ng virus. System weakness is the design of Microsoft Windows and Outlook were exploited that enables malicious code to be able to access the operating system and user data. The secondary storage by recipients clicking on an icon without knowing the risks. Kalimitan kasi naduduplicate yung mga files, katulad na lang ng MP3s and audio-related files. Ilan sa mga attachment na nagkakaroon ng damage on the local computers, we have here the usual file extensions: .doc, .jpg, .jpeg, and so on and so forth. With copies of itself while appending additional file extension .vbs.
I love you virus effects. The infection of I love you was later estimated to have cost US $10 billion financial loss worldwide and to cost US $10 15 million to remove the virus. Over 10 days, more than 55 million infections had been reported. It is estimated that 10% of internet-connected computers in the world had been affected. The site I love you virus damage was mostly the time and effort paid to handle infection and recover file from backups. In order to protect themselves and stop the I love you virus, the British Parliament, the Pentagon, CIA, and most other large companies decide to completely shut down their mail systems. At the time, the email malware attack was one of the world's most destructive computer-related disaster ever. It also inspired the song Email on the Fit Shock Boys of It Up 10 album of 2002 release was lyrics play thematically on the human desires which enable the mass destruction of this computer infection.
How did I love you virus spread? The virus propagated itself by sending a copy of the payload to all addresses in the Windows address book used by Microsoft Outlook. It also downloads the Barakchugan, renamed for the occasion as WinBugs Fix X. Message generated in the Philippines began to spread westwards via corporate email systems. Since I Love You malware uses the mailing list as its target source, the emails usually appear to come from acquaintances. Those receivers tend to regard them as safe and open them without delay. Therefore, a few people accessing the attachment will finally lead to millions of copies that can cripple email system and destroy millions of files on computers in each successive network. This allows the I Love You virus to spread much faster than any other email worm. It was born in the Pandacan neighborhood of Manila in the Philippines on May 4, Thursday in 2000. The following daybreak, as employees began their daily work, the virus was spread first to Hong Kong, then Europe, and finally the United States.
How to remove I Love You virus? If ever may nagsend ng isang link or attachment from unknown source or person and hindi mo pa siya na-open, then na-virus siya, pwede mong tanggalin or alisin through virus file. This one found in your computer, VBS, or you can find also in your hard drive. Love letter for you.htm. You can see this file on your Windows system, then remove it, as well as WinFoxFix, exe, and WinFat33.exe. This link found in your computer or internet. Explorer this will help you to remove the virus. How was the I love you virus stopped? Nowadays, many people had a problem with their accounts or email because of the virus that's suddenly spreading in computer. Some of the companies shut down their emails to stop receiving virus. Some websites help them to remove the virus to stop spreading on internet. This is why we have to be extra careful when we receive attachment from unknown source or website.
Does the I love you virus still exist? I believe there are still copies of the I love you virus source code somewhere. Yet, the virus isn't online for many years. However, there may be similar email malware in the future. So, always be careful when you receive files from others, especially from strangers. What happened to the creator of I Love You virus? I Love You virus designer Onel de Guzman returned to computer work but didn't go back to college after the period of lying low. Recently, in 2020, he was found running a small booth for repairing mobile phones at the very back of a shopping building in Manila.